We have the first confirmed sighting of Lunalights post the Arc V deck. You guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we finally have a regional where Lunalights are the spectacle right now. And honestly, I think that's awesome. We finally got to see the Arc V deck touching down in the TCG, which paints a pretty interesting picture as to functionally how the meta is going to be changing here. Now, obviously, with the Odd Eyes and the rest of the decks kind of coming into the spotlight, I didn't really feel like they would be doing too much, but I guess that's not necessarily the case because this was able to perform very, very, very well out of Lansing. And yes, we do have the deck list. Now, the list we don't actually have here was the Clown Crew list by Brandon Miyake. Brandon, very, very big upcoming duelist, which is very, very nice. We also do get to see some Sky Striker action with the Radiant Typhoon, the very, very, very notable names here. We also had Cool Tune kind of bringing up the rear, but Ritual of Light and Darkness had 3 in the top 8, which, I mean, when you're looking at the picture here for your top cut, I'm not surprised, honestly, to see your driving forces being what they are for this. Now, there is one interesting takeaway down here. One of them is actually playing Angeli in their list. And obviously, all 3 of these, one Ritual of Light and Darkness, one Azamina Light and Darkness Ritual, one Angeli, and then, of course, you know, we also have the Clown Crew list, which it does have the Rolad stuff in it, but they're classifying it as like a sub-list. So, I mean, technically, 4 Ritual of Light and Darkness, 2 Sky Striker, 1 Cool Tune, 1 Lunalight, taking up a majority of your top cut for this event. Is the meta shifting in a more positive direction? I think you're getting to see Rolad still do absolutely what Rolad is expected to do in this format, you know, with putting up that massive power wall and really kind of showcasing the feels that that deck actually had. It's so broken. Now, we have our Raymond die list for the Sky Striker pile. Now, in terms of Sky Striker's existence in the format, you still got to play this deck pretty seamlessly. If you're expecting to just get free games off of this, no, it doesn't work that way. We have to be as low to the floor as we can. We have to expect to get as good of consistent results as we can. And honestly, I feel like this deck, if it does kind of get set up, it just tears down boards. Now, you do see we are playing 2 Rows to counteract the 2 Pot of Desires. As much as Pot of Desires is very meh in this deck, I think you're just kind of forced to play it. You also do see here, we do have the triple pot of the Sloth down here in the side deck. That's because you need going second utility options. All right. Obviously, in a deck where, you know, you can just filter in as much tool options as you want and then draw possibly 5 to 8 more cards and then go tuck back like roses or, you know, hand traps that you found along the way to further dig you into those provided pieces to break those boards from your opponent. Oh, absolutely. We're going to make that decision all day long. Choose to play that. I also do see here we are playing triple evenly. It's actually kind of an interesting choice, too. There's a lot of boards that players are just going to make that are going to be so crazy that resolving an evenly matched and cracking their field is going to get you the same results as if, you know, you would actually just tried to win the game in that turn. Also interesting to note, I do see we are playing the 1 Luminous Gate. As much as I like to Luminous Gate to make, you know, it feel like I'm actually accomplishing things, I think just choosing to play the 1 is okay. Your goal is just to make sure that, you know, you're getting this off or, you know, you can loop this back. Typically, if you can loop this back, I feel like you're going to have good enough answers. That's why you got the triple Kagari in this deck to, you know, be able to actually loop back your resources and control. Next up is by far probably the more standard deck that most people have been used to seeing this format. It is going to be the Ritual of Light and Darkness Unfun, sporting off the Azamina package within the deck, and obviously getting access into the Ilia Sylvia and actually controlling the opponent through the unfun madness that has been, you know, rotating with this. I think there is something to be said about this. Obviously, there's also the tech choice down here of Heatwave. We have been seeing way more Heatwave inclusion in these decks than I feel like we should necessarily be seeing. But the thing here is, Heatwave's just a card that is just answering the current problems of the existing meta. You know, your opponent forces you into a position where, you know, you have to go first and maybe a matchup that's just going to break your field. Heatwave's job is to be able to actually help you get through those bad situations. Obviously, it sucks if it's a card you see off the Pot of Sloth, but I mean, it's not like you can't tutor it back and to be able to pivot to do your thing. I also do see that the Celtic Mystic is seeing play in the side decks. I think that seeing Celtic Mystic in the side is fine. It's a card that, you know, provides you with additional, you know, pressure in certain situations. Also, you know, having access to a normal summon in a deck where, you know, you don't necessarily need access to your normal summon, well, you know, it helps. Now, let's talk about this Lunalight pile. I think that this is by far probably the most interesting piece that has popped up out of the weekend. And yes, we are playing the new Scarlet Tiger. Now, Scarlet Tiger is a level 5. It says if you activate a Lunalight monster effect, all right, we can special summon this card from the hand. Then you can if you activated this effect during your opponent's turn, and your opponent, or during the turn your opponent activated a card effect, you can add a polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, we can special summon a Lunalight from your face-up extra deck or graveyard, except a level 5, but it cannot activate its effects, and you can only use each effect of Lunalight Scarlet Tiger once per turn. So basically, the way that this deck wants to try to play the game is, we're going to play 3 of these. It's a free extender. It's a free, you know, if your opponent has hand-trapped you, or they've, you know, deployed like a Mulch Army, you're going to get a polymerization, which is going to continue to help you kind of combo up, but it also gives you the ability to summon back something. Now, keep in mind, this does say it cannot activate its effects. This is different than its effects being negated, because that means that you can't attempt to mill down an extra material off of something like the Kaleido Chick, which is a little bit inconveniencing in terms of the way that the deck is choosing to play, which kind of sucks in hindsight. I don't like they actually put that limiting factor on it, but I guess I get it. You're still playing all of the going second heavy polys and all of that cheesy stuff just to be able to kind of get the job done. Also, we are side decking Mask of Restrict, which is really, really interesting. So definitely interesting to see this pile development. Next up, we have more Sky Striker action. This is going to be your top 8 secondary challenger. Now, you're going to notice some interesting things. Extending out the triple pot of desires. Just being able to get that crucial draw power, just kind of be able to push through things is good. You're still going to be seeing the triple pot of sloth down here, because you're forced to be able to like rotate through all of that massive advantage, right? Like one pot of sloth just ensures that you're going to be getting so much more pieces into rotation. And of course, we are playing the triple crown. You have the triple fallen and virtuous. Now this list is also going with the 2 Lemonus Gate. Once again, I do like having access to Lemonus Gate here. You know, it's going to provide you with rotation pieces to kind of keep that pressure on your opponent so you can do your thing. The only difference between 1 and 2 is you can dead draw the 2 more often, which is a little bit more infuriating to deal with in those matchups that you don't really want that to actually happen, which is a little bit of a downside, all things to be said. I see we've also got Lancias down here in Lava Golems. Seeing actual Lancias in a side deck in this day and age, maybe they were more worried about Malice showing up, or maybe there was more of a counterplay to another deck that they wanted to focus on actually having access to this, which I don't think is necessarily too terrible of a decision. Just kind of feels like maybe there could have been some better cases and points here to kind of bring that up with. And then we have the Angeli Ritual of Light and Darkness pile. Now this deck is doing some crazy stuff, man. First of all, like the Synchro toolbox being built off the Angeli stuff is really cool. But also, look at all this Synchro stuff. You have the Junk Misers in here, the Dawnwalker stuff. You know, you're going through some crazy extra additional lines of play just to unlock the Synchro side of this extra deck, just to put that massive pressure on your opponent, just so that they don't actually get the chance to play the game. And also, you know, Tzolk'in here is already an increasingly annoying monster to deal with. So, you know, you're getting some crazy things with this. I also think a lot of the reason why they're trying out some of the tools here is because Witness of the Ancients, it's just kind of like a free monster for them to be able to kind of toggle through and kind of keep up what you're trying to do with this. Also, Blackwing Dragon, Stardust, both really, really funny cards that a deck like this is actually kind of looking to rotate through. So interesting to see Lunalights performing very, very well at their first region. They got their support. We're getting to see some little synchro piles like this coming into the spotlight, which is really, really cool. And once again, it's really cool to see Angeli still kind of doing its job here in the current meta. But what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.